over the years, the NBA 2K franchise has kind of branched away from more of the single player game modes. Obviously not my career in things like that, but other game modes that were in previous 2Ks. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about one of the best game modes ever introduced in the history of 2K when it comes to the single player game modes. You guys are probably thinking of what I'm going to be talking about in today's video, but if not, stick around because like I said, this was one of the best game modes ever introduced into the 2K franchise when it comes to single player features. Throughout the years, NBA 2K has came out with a variety of game modes, some of them becoming more popular and returning in later 2Ks, some of them just being only in a single 2K, which is exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the NBA 2K11's game mode that was known as the Jordan Challenge. So for any of you guys who didn't get to play NBA 2K11, this was probably one of my favorite game modes in NBA 2K11 and probably one of my favorite game modes of all time when it comes to the NBA 2K franchise. Now, like I mentioned, I know a lot of you guys probably did not get the chance to experience this game mode, but this game mode was very, very ahead of its time, and it was a very interesting and fun game mode because of how different it was and how cool of a game mode it was all around. So the Jordan Challenge was a game mode featured in NBA 2K11, and in the mode, users are able to take control of 10 different versions of Michael Jordan and play against historic opponents while completing specific challenges related to some of Michael Jordan's most memorable games. So for example, there are some challenges in there. There are a total of 10. Some of them that you guys might know right off the rip is the very, very famous flu game. So basically what this allowed for users to do is once they launched this game mode, they had an opportunity to play any of these 10 challenges. I can't really remember off the top of my head because this was a very long time ago, but I'm pretty sure you had to go through all of them in a certain order to unlock the next one. But one of the challenges, to give you guys an idea who did not play it, was something called the flu game. Now, if you guys don't watch basketball, then you don't know what this is. But if you guys have a little clue about basketball, you definitely know about this story. The flu game was essentially when Michael Jordan played when he wasn't feeling that well, when he had the flu. Hence why it's called a flu game. In NBA 2K11, you were able to play in this game. So there were certain challenges that you had to meet while playing in this game. And there were many other challenges as well. Challenges such as the Arrival, the game where Michael Jordan scored 69 points, the 1991 NBA Finals, the Shrug, and Michael Jordan's last final game. Now, this is a very interesting game mode because NBA 2K did it perfectly in NBA 2K11. But unfortunately, after NBA 2K11, we actually never saw this game mode return, which is very interesting, but I kind of understand because once the game started getting more popular, they started focusing on other game modes when NBA 2K14 dropped, and I guess you could say NBA 2K13. When they started to introduce My Team and The Park, they kind of got away from these single player modes and focused more on the multiplayer, and I can't really blame them because for the most part, multiplayer game modes are more fun than single player game modes in my personal opinion. Now overall, NBA 2K11 was a very, very enjoyable game and a very well made 2K in my personal opinion. Now I'm pretty sure NBA 2K11, when it comes to the discussion of the best 2Ks ever made, I'm pretty sure NBA 2K11 is up there in that elite tier of 2Ks. And the crazy thing is that NBA 2K11 is relatively old. For you guys who have played it, know that NBA 2K11 did not have many multiplayer features. The only real multiplayer game mode, I'm pretty sure it was the only one that was multiplayer, was the Play Now ability where everyone played against each other with their selected teams. There was no My Team, there was no Park, there was nothing like that. It was strictly just Play Now as far as I can remember because NBA 2K13 introduced My Team, and then NBA 2K14, I almost said 15, NBA 2K14 introduced the My Park feature. So nowadays, everybody knows My Team and everybody knows Park, but back then there wasn't many multiplayer experience, so they focused more on the single player aspect of the game. Therefore, that's where this Michael Jordan Challenge was introduced. Now, I want to have a little bit of a conversation and put a little bit of my 2 cents in because I never really understood why NBA 2K as a whole did not reintroduce this game mode into later 2Ks. I understand that they focused more on the multiplayer aspect of 2K, especially nowadays and up to NBA 2K13, which makes sense because multiplayer modes and multiplayer features are usually played more than single player features, especially when it comes to 2K. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, in my personal opinion, I think that's the case because I don't really play the single player version of 2K. I more or less play the multiplayer version of 2K, whether it be the park, my team, team up, whatever the case may be. But for this, if they reintroduce the challenge, whatever you want to call it, I feel like I would play more single player of NBA 2K. I want you guys to think about this. Obviously, Michael Jordan is referred to as the best player of all time, and it would make sense to why he would get his own game mode, but there's so many other players that you could do for this. And the crazy thing is they actually have this in the game mode. They have this game mode in the mobile version of 2K. I actually did a video covering the NBA 2K mobile version of the game, and they have this exactly the way that I'm going to explain it. So think about loading up NBA 2K20 and think about going to a game mode where it allowed for you to do the exact same thing with this Michael Jordan challenge, but instead there were different players to do. There's so many players in the history of the NBA and even current players now that would be able to meet the criteria to be able to fit into this game mode. So some people I can name off the top of my head would be Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy McGrady, Hakeem, Kobe, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, obviously LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and probably a handful of other names that I missed out on. But the fact that they didn't bring this back is a little bit disappointing because, as I mentioned, NBA 2K11 did a perfect job on this game mode, and it made the single player aspect of 2K that much more enjoyable. Even though my career in NBA 2K11 was really good, I mean, all of my careers in the earlier 2Ks were really good and still aren't bad to this day, but this game mode right here, I could easily get lost in. I could sit there and play the challenges, try to complete all of them, and the crazy thing about this is they really weren't that easy. I mean, at least for me back then, because I was relatively young and probably didn't know what I was doing. But if they were to bring that back into current NBA 2Ks, I feel like it would be an extreme success, and I feel like a lot of people do miss this game mode. And a lot of people didn't get to experience, so I feel like it would be a completely new experience to all the people who never got to play NBA 2K11. As a matter of fact, I just want to understand something real quick for all you guys watching this video. I want you guys to type the number 3 if you did play NBA 2K11, and I want you to type the number 2 if you didn't play NBA 2K11. If you did play NBA 2K11, I want to get your thoughts and your opinion on this game mode because I honestly have never seen anybody say anything bad about it. To wrap this video up, in my personal opinion, and I feel like a lot of you guys watching this video who've played 2K for a very long time will agree with what I'm about to say, but I think that NBA 2K nowadays definitely lacks some of the single player aspects of the game that really made 2K enjoyable. Like NBA 2K11, I've said this multiple times in this video already, but they did this game mode absolutely perfectly. It was something that wasn't as serious, and it was something that would allow for you to take a break from other game modes in the game. And I think it would be really great now because Park and My Team can get extremely boring if you play it for too long. So something like this would be very, very good to just play, relax, and play through some historic moments of people's favorite players. I just don't understand why 2K didn't even think of re-adding this to the game, especially with how more advanced NBA 2K has gotten since NBA 2K11. But all in all, I don't know if this game mode is going to come back. I highly doubt it will because NBA 2K seems to be more focused on microtransactions and online gameplay, which I don't disagree with. I've said this before in this video. I don't disagree with the route that 2K is going, but I don't think it could hurt them if they could try to reintroduce this for next-gen consoles. Like NBA 2K21, I almost said NBA 2K like 300 right there, but NBA 2K21 would be a perfect time to reintroduce this game mode, especially with the fact that Kobe Bryant retired, you know, a couple years ago, whatever, and it would be perfect to do something like a Michael Jordan game mode, but instead do a Kobe Bryant game mode. And in that game mode, you can select from a variety of players and live through all of those players' moments in their career, which I think would be amazing. But with that being said, that is going to bring the video to an end. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, my Instagram got hacked, and if you guys saw my Instagram and watched me on YouTube, I was not the one posting any of my stuff. I've said this multiple times before. I cannot speak right now, but my Instagram got hacked. The guy posted some pretty racist stuff, and I apologize, but I made a new one. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's at Phantuums IG, which obviously stands for Phantuums Instagram. So if somehow the Phantuums account comes back, that is not me. So please don't acknowledge it until I speak on it and say that it's me if I ever get the account back. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Drop a like if you enjoyed NBA 2K11. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. And peace.